And you're going to learn parts of the brain like the hippocampus, you're going to look at the hypothalamus, we're going to look at the frontal lobe, because there's a way to change your brain, not just your perception, but how your brain actually functions. The health of America is horrible, horrible. Okay, you're talking half of the population has cancer, where no one's talking about autism, which by 2025 it'll be 1 in 2 boys. Okay, but this is a devastation of our population. 60% of adults have a chronic illness or disease. 54% have a chronic illness or disease that they will never get over. So this stuff is not being talked about because the current health administration caused this. They caused this by treating stress-related illnesses with a toxic chemical. The entire system, not only is it broken, but it's going to be torn down. Now again, did we have an example of what should be done or how dangerous this virus was? Or was it just, what do you hear? A novel virus? No, we did have an example. Diamond Princess. So now here you got 3,711 people locked in a ship, breathing the same air, eating the same food, socializing, no social distance, and it's an elderly population. Okay, you got 1,015 people over 70, or between 70 and 79, and 216 between 80 and 89. So it's a senior thing, and they're locked in. They're not going back and forth. So we have an enclosed group to find out the death rates, the infective rates, and who it's going to positively, who's going to be safe and who's not. Now, do we go in and say, look, you got to have PPEs, you got to have gloves, you got to have, no, because we could actually look at the population. Now, out of the 80 to 89 group, there were 216 people there, 1 died. Now, what was his condition or her condition? What comorbid factors? I don't know. I didn't look up the details of that. But looking at the statistics now, we know they had to have some comorbid conditions. Between 70 and 79, 6 people died. Now, they had 1,015 of that group. So out of the 3,711 people, okay, and you're talking 1,300 people who were over, well, nearly 1,300, were over 70, okay, and they lost 7 people, which is a tragedy. I mean, every death is not good, but death is inevitable. I mean, really, this is called life. The only way you get out of it is to die, you know? So we can go on to the next thing if that's your belief system. But when you look at this, we had a really good model. So when you see this, and by the way, and you'll see this number over and over and over again in different studies, 19% was the infective rate, and that was the herd immunity. And because when it gets up to around 20%, some people will say 60%, some people will say 80%. You know, here, I got another number here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, where they're pulling the numbers out from, God knows. Okay, but when you look at this, about 20% seem to be the herd rate. Okay, when that 20% went through, then it stopped the infectiousness rate. So this was a lie perpetuated by the media, and it's still perpetuated by the media. And I had a really cool discussion Saturday or Sunday morning with this guy who said, you know, there was a party of Bosnians, okay, in LA, and there were like 15 people, and they all got infected at one time, and 1 person died. I said, wow, 100% infective rate. I would love to see the study on that group of people, because that can't happen. So you got 100% of the people at this area that not only will they get the virus, it will grow in them, and they will develop symptoms. Wow, that's unusual. Because there is no population that is 100% susceptible and 100% that's going to develop it. 1 person's going to infect 3, 3 infect 9, 9 infect 27, 27 infect 54, and soon the world will be taken over. Okay, that's ridiculous. What's the death rate? How many people die? Well, we know if you're not susceptible, you're not going to die. You have a 99.99% chance of not dying if you're living on this planet. If you have comorbid conditions, your rates are going to go up. And what about the recovery? How many people are going to recover? You know, we know millions and millions and millions of cases, whether the tests are accurate or not. But, so how many people are recovered? How many people have permanent immunity from this? How many people caught it and already had antibodies and immune system and didn't develop it? How many people like that? Those are the numbers, but you are not getting this information. Then we look at Medix RX, population level COVID mortality in non-elderly individuals for non-elderly individuals without underlying diseases in pandemic epicenters. People less than 65 without underlying predisposing conditions accounted for only 0.7 to 2.6% of all COVID deaths from France, Italy, Sweden, and New York. New York is like crazy. Okay, so if you're under 65, okay, how many people under 65? Yeah, baby. Yeah. I have 4 more years and I'll be over 65. Okay, you have a 97.4 to 99.3% chance of not dying if you catch it. If you catch it. When we look at this, in conclusion, people less than 65 years old have a very small risk of COVID death, even in pandemic epicenters, and deaths for people less than 65 years without underlying predisposing conditions are remarkably uncommon. Strategies focusing specifically on protecting high-risk elderly individuals should be considered in managing the pandemic. Wow, common sense. They don't say send people that are sick to senior centers, okay, which will spread it. I mean, that's just crazy. So what is this? We have an automatic nervous system. This is how we're designed to thrive on this planet. One part keeps you alive under stress. That's the sympathetic or fight or flight. When you are under, good. Okay, I only had like 4 people jump on that one, okay? But I had to, because we got to stimulate the sympathetic. So what just happened to your blood sugar? It went up. What happened to blood pressure? Went up. What happened to cholesterol? Went up. What happened to blood supply to the gut? It went down. What happened to the immune system? Down. Okay, so you look at this, and that was just a minute, a fraction of a second of a perceived stress. Perceived stress. You look outside and you see people wearing masks, people that are unemployed, homeless people, people that are scared, really scared, their blood pressure is going to go up. Blood supply to the gut's going to be shut down. Okay, that blood gets thicker. Then we're talking kidney disease. We're talking inflammatory bowel disorders. These are not diseases that you catch. These are diseases you earn. You have to take something that's toxic or deficient, and then you develop the disease. That happens to be a comorbid condition that you have to have because viruses attack sick tissue. So these are people that have developed sickness.